How did you get started in fire athletics?
It was my very first TV production class. My television production teacher saw that I had some talent on the very first week, and he was an athletics coach as well. So he pulled me aside after class and said, "Hey, we're looking for a new voice. We had one just leave, and we want to interview you for the spot." And I was like, "Sure, yeah, that sounds fun." I'd never had a real job before, and so it was cool that was going to be my first job. They hired me right there on the spot that day, and I did my first volleyball game that exact same day. And then I moved into basketball, wrestling, baseball, softball. Then by the end of my time at high school, I did everything that needed it. I hosted pep rallies, I did all kinds of stuff. When I was younger, like 7, 8 years old, first, second grade, and even before that, I had these issues as well. I had lots of speech impediments, and it was based kind of around, I couldn't really hear really well either. So part of it was because of that, but it was just several speech impediments like on top of each other, and just several factors playing into like creating all of these issues wrong at once, which resulted in like I couldn't speak well. So I had all these issues, and it was really terrible. Like I just felt as like a kid, and all the little kids that I know are just like, they talk about everything and they just imagine and dream and verbalize, and I imagined and I dreamed, but it was harder for me to verbalize just because I knew that I had thoughts, but when they tried to go from here to out my mouth, they just couldn't do it. It was like speech therapy. I started that when I was in like pre-K. In the developmental stage, like it was able to get like recognized that this was like an issue. I was in like speech therapy classes and fine motor therapy, because I still have like things with like really fine hand movements, like handwriting and stuff like that. I still have problems with that. They were just gone. My mother always prayed over me with oil, anointed me with that, and just she saw that I had these things that inflicted my life and made it difficult for me to grow as a kid, and she just wanted those things to go away, like the fine motor and the voice stuff. And so she would anoint me and pray over me every day for stuff like that. And then it was like first, second grade, one day it was just like new. It was gone, and nobody really could explain like why I like shot through all of my speech therapy and I was like done with it. I didn't realize it until later, but I'm convinced I was healed. Like, and just that like everything that had happened after that, like leading up to all the stuff that I do now, like I think God specifically prepared me for it, and that's part of the reason why I'm in it. Just because I feel like God knew where I would be, and then said, I need to prepare my son for whatever's going to happen. And he prepared me, and I was able to do it. So like I kind of gave it back. My roots are kind of in theater, and so being a part of like a performance team like that is just really cool. And being able to combine the performance aspect with the television aspect is just super cool. I love being a part of that team, and I love when I get to play. It's a lot of fun, but that whole experience is just really rewarding, and I love doing that show as well.
The team does cafe shows and studio shows. Which one do you like more, cafe or studio?
I'm very partial to the studio show. Like the big TV shows, I think those have a really nice flow. However, the cafe shows, we kind of can connect better with the audience when there's not the cameras in between. So in the cafe shows, we can really interact more and really make it better for them.
You just filmed your season finale, and it was here in Bush Chapel. It's the second time you've done that now, second season in a row. What has that been like both times?
Both times we've broken records. We broke the last record. We had, I think, about like 500 people, something like that, 400 or 500 people in here on Friday night, and it was a blast. I love it because it's just a huge show. We bring in a lot of new elements and do cool things that we couldn't do in either of the other spaces. So it's just, those are always really fun and a good time just to, really go big and really step up and do really good shows. Sports is a great atmosphere, and it's kind of like a play, but it's just like unfolding right out in front of you, and nobody knows what's gonna happen. I usually sit across from like everyone, and so it's cool to like see all the fans and watch them react, and just to be a part of the whole story and the whole process is a really cool thing.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.